Welcome in, Mountaineer Nation. I'm Sam the Man, and this is the Mountineer Effect. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. That way the algorithms here on my channel keep pushing the content out, and I'll keep pushing the content out to you guys. I took a little sabbatical this week since we were on a bye week to kind of collect my thoughts on Mountaineer Nation and Neal Brown and the direction of the program. Guys, a quick reminder, be sure to tune in live Thursday night this week, the 21st at 7 p.m. I'm going to be going live here on YouTube and Facebook. We're going to be interviewing Eugene Napoleon, running back for WVU during the national championship run against Notre Dame. Should be a good time. Be sure to tune in for that. I've been thinking a lot about inheritance this week and what that means to a football program. And I know a lot of people are really criticizing Neal Brown, but I want you to think about Neal Brown's inheritance when he came into WVU. I know people are tired of hearing us talk about Dana Holgerson, but you really have to take a look at what Dana left when he left. And essentially the cupboards were bare. Take a look at this graphic, guys. This graphic shows you the inherited NFL players for the first 3 years, starting in the Don Nehlen era. Don Nehlen came in 81, and his first 3 years, 81 to 83, and had 8 NFL players within those first 3 years. Rich Rod, from 2002 to 2004, inherited 9 NFL players. Bill Stewart, in his 2-year campaign, also inherited 9 NFL players. Dana Holgerson inherited 9 NFL players. And if you look down at the bottom down there, you're going to see what Neal Brown inherited. We can add a Steele's brother to that, and we'll give him 2. But Neal Brown came into a program that was left unattended by a man who did not care about this program. I don't think you guys really realize that. I think there's too much knee-jerking going on about, getting rid of Neal Brown and running him out of town and all this malarkey. But you got to realize Neal Brown is more like Don Nehlen than anybody that we've seen since Don Nehlen. He embraces the Mountaineer culture, the Mountaineer people. He understands how important this football program is to the West Virginia people. And if we just give him a little bit more time to build what he's building, I really do believe it's going to pay off. But inheritance, had we brought in anybody else that didn't embrace the culture and didn't have the abilities to recruit and build the program that Neal has done, we would have stepped back into the dark ages. You think the record's bad now? Imagine year after year after year after year. I think that's what we would have been left with. I think Neal Brown's doing the best he can with what he has right now. And I think in the next 2 years, we're going to see a complete 360 turnaround. Now, with that being said, these growing pains suck, and it's really hard to accept that. As Mountaineer fans, we don't like to exist in the realm of mediocrity. However, if you look at this season as a whole, we're about, aside from the Baylor blowout, that was terrible. But we're points away from being a one-loss team. You really have to look at the way these kids are being managed and the way these players are being handled and think, we're right on the cusp. We're right on the cusp. Now, I think getting some better leadership on the field is going to help a lot. I think we play uninspired at times, and I think that we don't have that fire on the field that you need to have. I don't think Daigie's capable of that, and I don't know, about Green or Crowder, but, we'll see. But I really do believe that Nico Marischal coming in next year will bring the fire. I know he will. I guarantee he will. If you watch any of his highlights or his games, he brings it every week. So I really think if we can just get through this year, Mountaineer Nation, we are on the cusp of something fantastic. We're on the cusp of getting places that we haven't been since the 80s. And I really do believe that. Dana Holgerson, I think, set out to cripple the West Virginia football program. I wholeheartedly believe that. You look at the nature of his departure and the way he was recruiting, it's abundantly clear that that's what he was doing. And I don't think he had any intentions of staying at West Virginia. I think he was hoping that maybe Will Greer's Heisman campaign would be enough to maybe buy him a couple more years or to get him a contract extension with a raise. And then he may keep doing what Dana did, which was the bare minimum. Dana Holgerson never went out to high school football games around the state like Neal Brown does. He didn't do a lot of things that Neal Brown does. And that's what you got to look at, is we have a guy that is a class act as a head coach. And I really do believe, given the time, he's going to make this thing completely turn around, turn it on its head, and we're going to appreciate the hard times while we reap the rewards of the good times. So keep that in mind as we move into this week and you hear more discussions about what's going on in Morgantown. Think about where we could be. We could be in a lot worse shape than what Neal Brown's got us in. We really could be. But I'm Sam the Man. Thanks for tuning in. This is the Mountineer Effect. Let's go, Mountaineers. And be sure to tune in on Thursday for our interview with Eugene Napoleon, 7 o'clock.